Causing someone to feel misunderstood is a tactic used by energy vampires who understand that people's sense of power comes when they're able to connect with other people. A lot of connection comes through communication, right? This happens especially in the white evangelical church and other structures that mirror that. And as we all know, that institution is based around theft. And there's no shade, you know what I mean, to people that do what they have to do to survive. But there's a different level of stealing money, creative ideas, affection, and other people's powers in those structures. And the only way they're able to keep running is through consolidating the stolen power and protecting that stolen power. So if you are somebody who has a passion for personal empowerment for yourself or others, has a tendency to want to protect other people, or is a warrior who has strength, skill, discipline, and toughness of will, and understands that they have to self-sacrifice sometimes for ethics, that kind of goes directly against successful engineering here. You know what I mean? These vampirical structures are engineered. And it says a talent for designing resolutions to common dilemmas. Yeah, because if you don't have an ability to tap into your own power, then you would want to take it from others, right? A lot of people that have BPD come from these sort of community structures where their voice was ignored and their intuition became something that was really they got the death card. Yeah, it threatened these structures. So us feminists love to say, you know, it's the men who run these, but actually we also protect them. And yeah, that's the truth. So what happens is that you have people of both genders being willing to protect the people at the top. Shadow side of the warrior says trading ethical principles for victory at any cost, indifference to the suffering inflicted on others. And many of our families were willing to sacrifice their children's sense of self in order to be involved in these other structures, right? It's not that they didn't understand that you had needs. It's not that they didn't understand what you were trying to say, because it doesn't really matter if people make sense. It matters where they are in the pyramid. I'm sure you've heard many people that are on the top of these ladders say some pretty wild things and nobody around them questions it. So it can't really be what you're saying that's causing everybody or most people in your life to consistently misunderstand you, especially if this has been going on for years and years and years, especially if you have now developed a habit of over explaining yourself. Like, that's obviously been a huge pattern in your life, right? Yeah. Father of Swords is all about speaking the truth. Many times in your life that you did have the boldness to go and question some of the things that you saw and people that were not being treated properly. And you did it from a perfectly articulate and grounded stance. But because of the response, you were left feeling very lost and confused. Did I say it the right way? How was my tone? How was my perspective? Was I blaming? Projecting blame also goes hand in hand and kind of is like the underlying force between that feeling of being misunderstood, because not only are you not making any sense, but you're doing so in a way that's trying to take the responsibility off of your action. Like, they want you to believe you're trying to get them to do something that you're neglecting out of laziness, right? Well, unfortunately, they completely understood what you were saying. They just really do not care that they destroyed your mental health. Because, woo, they were very aware that it was causing you to feel consistently more ungrounded. And healing your intuition is not something that you can expect these people to support. To say it very plainly, yeah, that would be very much a tower moment for them. In a sense that possibly they would feel like their entire world was falling apart. Yeah, and a large part of their fear comes from their and our tendency to be judgmental and isolate people. This, like, within our societies, we don't have transformative justice really set up yet. So cancel culture is still alive and well. And I've heard said before that some of us are afraid that others will treat us like we have treated others. Or we are afraid to be treated like our families treated us by other people if we move away from the things our families expect. And that's why you'll hear so many people be like, oh, really feeling they have to stay in gratitude, that's the truth, for their families, regardless of the feelings that they have from their upbringing, regardless of the people their parents protected, even if your parents protected their friends or their own entitlement over you, you still may be left with a sense of needing to be loyal to them and the institutions that they uphold. But that comes from this whole mechanism. In order to be able to believe yourself, believe what happened, you would have to have some sort of trust in your ability to see and speak the truth and be grounded. And it's something that's been eroded for a very long time. And by eroded, stolen from. Questioning these things can leave people feeling like they're being sucked into a tornado that's very painful, especially if you are still receiving the majority of your support from people who do not feel comfortable questioning any of these things. They won't be able to support you in doing it, and some people just have a hard time being willing to make that trade and step out into the unknown. But recovering your intuition is possible. A lot of the stuff that's on here right now about twin flame and about unity is about, people talk about finding someone outside you to match that energy, but there's also a process of unity that can happen when you, heal both sides of yourself, whether that's masculinity and femininity or light and dark, I guess, however you want to word it. There's stability that comes in that. And when you recognize that sometimes people will, with charm and with the support of others, move towards you with the intention of making you feel betrayed and making you feel attacked when you come with strength and love. When you understand that that is planned and you can learn to expect that, you'll be able to stay in truth. Understand they're trying to block you from your connection to source, from your magic, from your sense of groundedness, and that the devil card, they extract a lot of energy in that explaining. Okay? You know